World Health Organization advisor and also an epidemiology professor. Mary-Louise, thanks so much for your time. Now, what do you think what went wrong there?
Well, it could be one of two things. Either the category of an event that this participant already had some underlying non-related medical condition, or what we call serious side effect, an SSE. And that's what AstraZeneca and the Oxford University will be exploring. Was it associated with the vaccine and receiving the vaccine so that the T cells elicit a response and you get neutralizing antibodies, or was it an underlying health issue that has nothing to do with the vaccine? So they'll need to go through that, but they've only got one person, and that means it's a rare event, and they are testing it in 30,000 people across half a dozen countries. They're probably, let's say it's a 1 in 1,000 chance. That still is important if it's related to the vaccine, because if America wants to roll out, as they have said they've wanted to, in a third of their country, you're talking about potentially 100,000 adverse events. So this is why AstraZeneca is taking this very seriously.
Mary-Louise, I mean, why is it taking so long to find a vaccine for COVID-19 if we have in mind that 9 leading developers are working on this for a while now?
Well, they've been working on phase 1 and phase 2. They're now in a lot of them are now in phase 3, and that's where they test whether or not there needs to be a booster shot, whether or not the elderly over 60 can elicit a lasting response, and the success. How successful is that T cell and antibody response? How long does that last us? Because we know that people who've had a natural infection, their neutralizing antibodies would appear, it's only a small study, to go down, starting at 3 months after they've had the infection. So it takes a long while to test that. Then they also have to test for serious adverse events. So it's a long time, but they also need to do phase 3 in tens of thousands of people, so that if we do have 1,000 adverse event and it's serious, then they may need to change the vaccine. Can I just remind you of the Salk vaccine? So back in the 1950s, when Jonas Salk developed the vaccine for polio, that was rushed to market because in the Midwest of America, they had hundreds of thousands. I think it was 53,000 children were suffering polio. They rushed it to the community, and they actually had kids die of polio, and hundreds of them become paralyzed. And so Dr. Salk went back and did a stage or trial level 3 and identified the problems with it. And that's why we have this phase 3 trial now in modern vaccines, and why it's so important.
Okay, Mary-Louise McLaws, thanks so much for that live for us from Sydney.